have you join us on the program Environment Today. On today's package, special focus on water drainages. Experts speak on sustainable drainage system and flood prevention. Our drama contribution to sustainable environment and news making the rounds. I'm Nkoli Omodu, your host. Welcome. We begin this week's edition with news making the rounds.
You go into the system and you can create a room. Once you create the room, you invite your friends to join you in that room. That room becomes where you get to chat together.
Kayode Aladesui, Chief Executive Officer, East Coast Diversified Corporation, explaining how VIR20 social media network works. According to him, VIR20 shares just about everything there is to share in real time, which include improving interpersonal relationships, shopping with friends, going to the movies, sharing photos, and listening to music, all in a unique way.
We decide to add socialization into social media. Social media that only allow you to post comments is nothing but a community poster board. Social media that allow people to actually engage each other live, interactive, such as going out together to watch a movie on Friday night while you both live on two different parts of the world, or shopping together when you both can get together physically, and doing so in an interactive way.
Now available on iPhones, Android and BlackBerry phones, VIR20 creates a platform for Nigerian engineers to build applications which, according to the conceivers, could go a long way to rebrand Nigeria to woo foreign investors.
We are the largest consumer of technology. We do not participate in the development of technology. This is a big statement that we can do it just like anybody else.
For this user of VIR20 platform, the site is simply exciting as it also provides a platform for business owners to showcase their products and services in an engaging way.
It was very easy for me to log on into it, and the moment I logged on into it, I had people already linking up with me. I was trying to just, mesmerize and see what this looks, what it's all about. And I decided to go to the movie session. To my amaze, I watched an old film, a Nigerian film, Nollywood film, for the first time. And there was no, some of these social media sites, you want to watch a film and it's cutting off every now and then. No. I don't know, but I watched the film till the end.
Virtue20 developers urge Nigerians to sign up at www.vir20.com to experience a new paradigm in social media.
The land is green, it's green, can't you see? I can't see all the harvest is ready, 'cause he told me so. It's green and it's all mine. As the clouds go gray, the thunder roars and the earth sings. The season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way for the pouring of my blessings. I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it. Dance in the rain, it's for my seed to grow. For every prayer and every seed I've sown, the Lord of the harvest knows I'm looking back 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Carrying alone can be a heavy load. But my vows I won't be breaking, though my heart is aching. I got a word and I won't let go. It's your will I'm seeking, so I keep on believing. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it. Dance once again, it's time for me to grow.
I also took on some experts on sustainable water drainage system and how this can reduce the issue of flooding in our societies. All right, our guest on this edition on drainage systems is a senior lecturer in the Department of Estate Management in the University of Lagos. I'm talking about Dr. Segun Yakubu Adisa. So we're glad to have you on the program.
You're welcome.
All right, so when we say drainage systems,
Yeah.
what exactly are we talking about?
Okay. Drainage is supposed to convey the water that is on the surface water, excess water, to where they can be safely stored or where they can be discharged, whether into river, into lagoon, or into the ocean, so that this water that is floating, maybe immediately after downpour, then this water will not constitute a nuisance. It will not gather and then become a problem. That is when it is flood or inundate an area, or when it will constitute an hazard to a building. You know, it can go into the foundation of the building. It can it can erode the subsoil under the foundation of the building and make the foundation weak. That can lead to building collapse. There can be various materials that can be used to discharge water. It can start from concrete. You can use concrete to make covert and pipes. It can be steel pipes. It can be plastic pipes. So the diameter also varies according to what the volume of water that you are discharging. So drainage is still the same thing as channeling out the water, but the construction, the mode of construction, the design and the materials are what they make the differences. Primary drainages are the ones that will gather from your domestic houses into a point, and then secondary one is the one that will discharge it into the pool of water or the body of water where it can be discharged away. You know, that may involve pumping it out. That primary one can be just the natural one draining from the surface into yes. Where there are implications. In the first instance, let's take it from the household, the effect on the household. Your plot, when you have your plot and you don't provide the proper drainage for it, you have problem of the structure being weakened. Because water will get into the foundation and you weaken the structure, you see cracks. And when you see cracks on your wall, if it is more than 5 mm diameter, it means that something is wrong with the foundation. If you don't take care of it, then it will lead into the collapse of that building. Then again, your environment, your surrounding, when you see water settling in your surrounding, you know, that will create a nuisance. So it constitutes environmental hazard apart from the high soil. Then walking on it when it is wet and mold that is gathering on it and all those things that are on the surrounding is having implication.
So can you have a city, a well-planned city without drainages?
Well, if there are no drainage cities, then there is no planning. What is called planning is, taking into consideration all those things in order to make sure that the environment is beautiful, the environment is efficient, and the environment is safe. Now, when you are doing planning, the first thing you put in place is the infrastructure. First of all, put the drainage, road network, all those cables that are necessary, put them into place so that you don't need to be breaking road in order to give way for channeling something, or breaking road in order to put in some cables. So you put the infrastructure into consideration first. You see all those plant estates that we have around now, before they actually plot out the land, before they give the land owners opportunity of building their houses, they will have put in the infrastructure, the drainage will have been there.
Thank God for all his mercies, really, for what he has done. By and large, we did very well last year. In terms of rain, we are not that affected in such a way, and it has to do more with a lot of efforts we put in place. First of all, anticipation. You must anticipate the likelihood of problems, and then you start working round the clock Similarly, this year we started too, and so we want, first of all, we get information, share the information with the general public, let them know the amount of rain we are going to have this year, how many months it's going to take, when it's going to rain, when it's going to begin, when it's going to be very tough for people. That we have disseminated that information. So now the next issue is that are we fully prepared? Are we ready? Are we taking the necessary measure to ensure that all our drainage channels are working? We have taken the necessary measure, and we'll be taking media, as you must have been aware, we'll be taking them around some of our drainage channels. What we need to do, we have posted people along our channels, and so they must be on alert. It's not it was that when it rains that you begin to call and say, this place is flooded and so on. You must anticipate, prevent things that are likely to cause flooding, that will minimize in case there is going to have a high rate of increase in rain. And then if the rain is going to be much, there are some rains that even if your drainage channels are well taken care of, if the rain is too heavy, if it rains consistently for 2 days, your drains will not be able to take it. It's happening in Germany. We saw it in Germany. We saw it in Canada. We saw it in several countries, even in Asia. They have the best developed drainage channels and so on. Yet they have been flooded, and the reason is because it comes at a time that no matter how well developed your drainage channels are, it comes at a time when you will not be able to cope even with the amount of water or that will come from the rain. And so that is what is happening. And we only pray that we do not witness that. If it rains consistently for 24 hours or more than 24 hours in Lagos, certainly all our drains will not be able to take the water. You still find water on the road, everywhere will be flooded and so on. So you have to wait for some time for the water to drain when the rain stops before the water goes away. But what are our people? They are impatient. They say, the lake of Lagos is flooded. Everywhere is flooded. But with the water go, that is the issue. The water will go immediately, few hours after the rain stops. The water will disappear. But people who have not been able to wait, they go and take photographs. This place is flooded and so on. And that's why we are always saying that please ensure that your drainage channels are not blocked. Ensure that they are free of domestic waste. Don't dump waste there. Make sure that the water is free flowing. Once the water is free flowing and so on, no matter the rains and so on, even though if it rains heavily, part of us might be affected. But if you wait a little while, we are very patient, the water will normally go. Because our own is to ensure that the drainages are not blocked, ensure that they are free flowing, and that nothing is put in the way that will stop water from flowing properly. That we have done this year. We are still doing it. It's a continuous process and so on, because it's going to rain till December. So it's not, we don't have a rest this year. So we have to continuously monitor and ensure that things are well taken care of. That's our responsibility, and we are prepared for that. Well, in terms of setting objectives and so on, basically, when the challenges I met during my first term, so that's why we are trying to develop this environment. We are trying to develop structures, create institutions, and I'm very happy today that those institutions have been created now. They are developing and so on. The challenges I faced during my first time as a commissioner is totally different from the challenges I'm facing now. The challenges at that time was, how do we develop LOMA to ensure that LOMA takes its waste? How do we ensure that LASEPA does its work? How do we ensure other agencies and so on? Those are the challenges that we faced at that time and so on. And we thank God that we were able to carry it to a stage. And then my predecessor, who came after me, Moise Banire, also developed a lot and did a lot also in ensuring that system and those structures, those institutions have been built and so on. Now, we have now developed those institutions, and now our challenge basically now is to ensure that those institutions, that not only we want to see them not only working, is to also to face the challenges that they are meant to face. Now, for instance, waste. If you look at LOMA now, what are the challenges facing LOMA now? Waste conversion. It's a very serious issue now. If you look at, we have to begin to look at ways to convert our waste. One, we don't have too many lands to start putting our waste at home. So we must look for waste conversions. How can we convert waste to electricity, waste to fertilizer, and other uses and so on? That is the challenge before LOMA. And also how to increase its capacity to be able to deal with waste in new people coming to Lagos. Because people coming to Lagos, they have to generate waste and so on. You have to deal with the amount of population increase on a regular basis. that is on the normal side. If you look at the beautification, there are many areas you still need to landscape for last. You have to look at that. Now, what are the challenges of the beautification that we have done, and so on? Are those areas where we need to replant entirely because we feel that the plants there and so on, they can no longer cope with the effect of the weather, or because of the pressure that we developed? Those are the challenges and so on that we have to face. Similarly, wastewater. If you look at the Office of Wastewater Machinery, and these are all departments. They were formerly departments here in the ministry, which have been developed into a structure now. Now, those you have to now allow them to develop on their own. First, wastewater is a very serious issue in Lagos now. People still depend on soakaway and so on. Ordinarily, if you have a proper wastewater infrastructure in Lagos, people won't be having all this soakaway thing in their homes and so on. You just flush water in your toilet, it goes straight. And follow the pipes and so on underground. If you have an underground pipes and so on, you just go to the wastewater sector that is developed for a particular community, different wastewater infrastructure. Those are the challenges that we face now that we have to develop. So, for me, the challenge is helping these institutions to grow, and then for the Ministry of Environment to develop more capacity to be able to manage them well, to be able to monitor effectively, to ensure that these institutions they grow in higher form.
I believe people should try as much as they can not to drop waste bin on the street, in the drainage, so that the water could flow very well. So that's all I think you can do.
Some people, if they should see that rain is falling, they'll start pouring their dirt, and it will block those gutters, so it won't be able to move.
And just to clear the drainage, you make sure that you don't pour dirt in the drainage. You don't throw things in the drainage. So that's one of the ways.
I believe it's an attitude problem, so to speak. To a large extent, every vehicle in Lagos State, particularly the commercials, have a basket in their buses or whatsoever. That individuals should drop the canned nylon bags, paper wastage and so on that is dropped on the roadside, that eventually find themselves inside the gutter and thereby blocking the drainage. I think it's an attitude. Most times people that eat all this stuff are supposed to drop it inside the car where it is, either bus or private. When you get home, you dispose them properly. But that is not always done. Like my son, sometimes even when he wants to throw some of those cans out, even when I buy him drink, when I bought or when I drive, he wants to throw it. I say, no, it's wrong. Drop it inside. When we get home, we'll dispose it properly. So I think that's our little contribution to augment what government are doing. Because government, we are the government ourselves. Fashola is one. Lagosians, 15 million people, so 15 is to 1. Then we are more. So if every individual should cultivate that attitude, the drainage is not for Fashola, it's for ourselves.
Next is our drama presentation on the contributions of some Nollywood stars to sustainable environment.
Ọ̀gá Chinedu.
Ọ̀gá Káyọ̀dé.
Ọ̀gá Chinedu.
Kò ní gbàgbàkúgbà.
Ní gbogbo ọjọ́, kìí sọjọ́ Monday nìkan. Ọlọ́gbọ́.
Kí lẹ fẹ́?
Mo fẹ́ energy saving bulb ni.
Energy saving globe gbogbo yẹn lóko ra ọkọ̀.
Ọ̀dà ohun tó dáa ni.
One big packet ní àná ọ̀sẹ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ tó kù.
Ó di kù.
Ó tún máa lọ sí ọjà ní ọ̀la ìgé ni ẹ̀ náà.
Ọ̀gá Chinedu. Ojú ò tì yín ni.
Kí ló dé?
Tójú ò bá tiẹ̀ tì yín, ṣé làákàyè ò sọ fún yín pé ohun tẹ́ ń ṣe ò dáa ni?
Kí ló dé?
Ẹ wò, ṣé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń ta energy saving bulb tí ó lálòpẹ́ tí èsè jàǹbá fún yàn tí èyí sì ń mú ooru, ẹ̀yin ẹ wo irú bọ́ọ̀bù tẹ́ ń lò tẹ́ pè ní gílóòbù tẹ́ ń lò.
Òótọ́ ló sọ o. Orí mo pé o gbogbo èèyàn dẹ̀ wọ́n ra energy bulb in fact packet ni mo ra lánàá tó ti kú eléyìí sẹ̀ mo dẹ̀ wà ní bíbá mo sweat mo ń làágùn pẹ̀lú global warming globe eléyìí ẹ wo èmi náà mo change ẹ̀ nísìnyí má change ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ti lọ sí má change ẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti lọ kọ́ ní ìsìn kí n tó lọ lẹ́ẹ̀ ṣéǹjì ẹ̀
Màá change ẹ̀.
àbí òye yín àti wípé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe tán lẹ̀ yín náà ò tún dáa
Kí ló tó
bí
dé
ẹ bá
náà?
jẹ́ pé energy saving bulb náà ni kò yẹ kẹ́ ẹ tán lẹ̀.
Kí ló dé? Kí ló dé?
nígbà tẹ́ ẹ ṣàfin àwọn àfin gan tó yẹ pé wọn kì í ríran lọ́sàn-án bí wọn ì tan náà lẹ̀ báyìí.
Àwọn ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé tí a bá tán lẹ́ba ní mọ̀ bá tí NEPA ó múná wá.
Rádaràda nìyẹn irú eléyìí ibẹ̀ ṣe tán lẹ̀ yìí kò dáa ó ṣe pàtàkì ká má máa fi iná wa ṣòfò àbí òye yín sẹ́ẹ̀rí bó ṣe wà yìí tẹ́ ẹ bá ti pa á tẹ́ ẹ sì sí fèrèsé yín sílẹ̀ kódà gan ẹ nílò ẹ̀rọ amúlétutù rárá ẹ wàá tan nílẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ àtàwọn èkejì yín gbogbo ẹ tan gbogbo ẹ lẹ ẹ máa jẹ́ kí ìjàmbá máa dé àyíká wa.
àmọ́ nínú orí mi ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pé ń ṣe ni ó tó ní o tí gbogbo yẹn bá kọ̀ tán irú globe káàkiri gbogbo everywhere máa gbóná nǹkan tó fa global warming ní eléyìí o nǹkan tó fa global warming ní eléyìí o.
náà ni gbogbo ẹ fi ń mú ooru ti.
orí mi ò pé má sọ fún gbogbo èèyàn kó máa pa títì kó pa everything.
ọ̀dà ọ̀dà bọ̀ ni.
ẹni sọ owó ni.
ọ̀dà mo rò wípé gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tí a sọ yẹn náà gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni.
ẹ mú owó wá ẹ mú owó wá ná.
ẹ ṣeun.
change ní ilẹ̀ ẹ ṣe máa change ẹ̀ nísìnyí.
a máa rí yín bá. ọmọ Igbo.
kí tún ní.
ọ̀gá Chinedu ẹ̀ irú wàhálà wo lélẹ̀ bá.
kí tún ní náà.
ariwo gèkó láyé jíjẹ èéfín olóró tó tún jáde láti inú rẹ̀ yẹn gan wàhálà ńláńlá tó kọ́ bá wa.
kí ló fẹ́ ká ṣe 3 months now NEPA kò múná wá sí area ẹ mọ̀ pé tá a bá tán generator kí ló máa fi ṣe business. ẹ dẹ̀ sọ
àánú ara yín ò ṣe
láyé. ṣé èmi nìkan ni mo ń tán generator ṣe bí gbogbo èèyàn ló ń tán generator.
àti pé gbogbo èèyàn tí ń tan generator yẹn àjọ ẹ̀ ń sowọ́ pọ̀ ẹ fẹ́ kí ìnira àti ìjàmbá kó bá àyíká wa nìyẹn ìjàmbá ńláńlá ni ká má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ ni.
tó èéfín generator ń sìn ìyẹn náà kò dáa.
kódà ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà gbọ́ lórí rédíò ojú òní tí wọ́n ní bàbá kan àti ìyá kan pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ wọn wọ́n kú sínú ilé wọ́n sùn wọ́n sì kú kílẹ̀ tó mọ́ gbogbo wọn.
kí ló wá pa wọn.
èéfín generator ni.
ok tá a bá lo generator kí la máa lò.
ẹ wo inverter wà.
ok
solar energy wà ìyẹn ni agbára láti ara oòrùn àti àwọn ẹ̀rọ amúnáwá míì tí ò ń pariwo rárá tí èsì ṣe àyíká ní jàǹbá.
nísìnyí tí mo ti mọ̀ pé eléyìí ní gbogbo èèyàn rà á sẹ́ máa lọ ra container energy bulb máa lọ ra container inverter máa lọ ra container solar energy síbẹ̀ onímọ̀ tà ń sẹ́.
ọlọ́run wá
fẹ́ ẹ ti fún mi àdíyà business.
ọyẹ tètè ṣe ìjì eléyìí ká mọ̀.
èkó ní gbàgbàkúgbà.
ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ni ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ni èkó ọ̀gbàgbẹ̀rẹ̀ rárá kọ́lọ́wọ́ ọ̀dà gbogbo sàánú wa.
wọ́n láì tẹ́ máa wá sí mi wá ẹ máa fún mi advice púpọ̀ ẹ wò pé orí mi ò pé púpọ̀.
làákàyè ló kù díẹ̀ ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́.
ẹ ṣe máa change eléyìí sìn. mo ti fẹ́ ṣe mistake. sorry o ṣe èso kò kí n kọ̀ sí global warming.
ẹ̀yin lẹ sọ.
ṣé kò kí n kọ̀ sí global warming.
ṣé ẹ ṣe pé kọ́dà tó dọ̀tí ló wà nù yín báyìí.
mi mọ.
ẹ ṣèyàn rẹ rárá.
Until same time next week when we come your way again on this same station, this is yours sincerely, Nikole Omoldu, saying keep it with us, keep your environment clean and healthy. Bye bye for now.